Have you ever heard of a mother cat adopting a tiger cub? It sounds like something out of a storybook, doesn't it? Well, this isn't a fairy tale. It's a true story that will leave you absolutely amazed. Years after the cat and cub were first brought together, something unbelievable happened that nobody could have predicted. What could it be? How did it all start? Get ready to be captivated by this heartwarming and fascinating tale of an unlikely family bond. The rescue of the tiger cubs. Adrian, a finance professional, would often head to the nearby mountains to camp and enjoy some solitude in the wilderness. He found it to be an excellent way to unwind and escape the stress of his job. However, during one of his trips, he stumbled upon an unexpected discovery. Two tiny tiger cubs, only a few weeks old, were stranded and crying for help. Adrian could not help but feel heartbroken when he saw how emaciated and weak the cubs were. Without a second thought, Adrian packed up his camping gear and brought the cubs back home with him. He had a cat named Princess who was fascinated by the tiny cubs' cries and presence. Over time, something miraculous occurred. Princess, who had previously given birth to multiple litters of kittens, assumed the role of mother to the tiger cubs. Princess tended to the cubs' needs, encouraging them to eat and drink, cleaning them, and playing with them. They all slept together, curled up in a cozy pile. As the weeks passed, the tiger cubs grew more robust and healthier, thanks to Princess's love and care. Although the tigers grew significantly larger and stronger than Princess, she continued to treat them as if they were her own kittens. Whenever their playtime became too rough, Princess intervened, and Adrian couldn't help but be amazed at his tiny little cat dominating the two massive tigers. Saying goodbye to the tiger cubs. Unfortunately, the day came when the tigers were too big to continue living with Adrian. They often damaged things in the house, and feeding them was becoming a financial burden. Adrian decided to take them to the local zoo, where they could be taken care of and have a large enclosure to run and play in an environment similar to their natural habitat. Adrian felt sad when he packed the tigers in his car's trunk, especially when he saw the sad expression on Princess's face as they drove away. The zoo was happy to take the tigers in and had recently built a large enclosure where they could run and play. Adrian left the tigers in the professional hands of the zoo staff and never returned to the zoo since that day. Reunion with the tigers. Years passed, and the princess fell ill. She was old and unable to fight disease, so Adrian took her to the vet. The vet recommended putting Princess down. Adrian agreed, but wanted to give her one last treat before that. He decided to visit the zoo where he left the tigers years ago, without knowing what to expect. Adrian put Princess in a carrier and made his way to the tiger enclosure, where he immediately recognized the two tigers he had rescued years earlier. Unsure whether the two animals still remembered him, he approached the plexiglass window. The tigers looked at him with curiosity, and Adrian couldn't believe how much they had grown. He opened the carrier's door, and Princess walked out, and as she did, something incredible happened. The tigers recognized the princess and immediately came over to her. They licked her and played with her, just like they used to when they were young cubs. It was as if they were saying thank you for taking care of us when we needed it the most. Adrian watched in amazement as the three animals reunited, and his heart was filled with warmth and love. As Adrian left the zoo that day, he felt happy that he had reunited with the tigers and princess. It was a memory he would cherish forever, and he knew that he had done something remarkable by saving the lives of two tiny tiger cubs who had now grown to be magnificent creatures. So the next time you find yourself in the presence of a creature in need, remember the tale of Adrian and the tiger cubs. This heartwarming story proves that the connection between animals and humans knows no bounds. Adrian's selfless act of rescuing the tiger cubs and Princess's unwavering love and care for them transcended species barriers and created an unbreakable bond. The reunion years later between the tigers and Princess is a testament to the lasting impact of compassion and kindness. Let us all learn from Adrian's example and embrace the opportunity to make a positive difference in the lives of our fellow inhabitants on this planet we call home.